it's me, Coco, and I'm back here with another video. And as y'all see, I got the same dress on that I had when I did the zodiac readings, and that's because I'm recording this the same day. I'm just posting it on a different date, okay? So with that being said, today's topic is jealous parents, okay? This is one major sign that you know you are meant to be successful. Yeah, tell them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can't speak with the hiccup. Yeah, I know. Can I tell them? I'm going to tell them everything that you're telling me. Okay? Deal? But yeah, today's topic is jealous parents. Like, this is how you really know that you're supposed to be successful. Whether you be successful or not is solely up to you as an individual, but this is definitely one of the clearest signs that you are meant to be successful, okay? And I'm speaking from my personal experience, okay? And to clear the air, because I know that my mother will probably most likely watch this, I'm not talking bad about my mother, okay? I don't care if she watches or not. As a disclaimer, I'm not talking bad about my mother. I understand that my mother loves me, okay? But these are just facts, and we can't ignore the facts, okay? So, with that being said, one way to know that your parent is jealous of you, whether it be mother or father, I only have a mother, so yeah. That's why I'm putting emphasis on mother. But some people have both parents, some people have a father, you know, to each his own, okay? But one sign is when your parents try to control you, right? And when they can't control you, they kick you to the curb, they put you out the house, you know, they call you all types of names, they try to diminish your character and stuff like that. Like, I know for me personally, my mother really tried to control me for a very long time, and she hated the fact that she could not control me. Like, I'm telling y'all, once I hit puberty, that's when me and my mother butted heads like shit, because she tried to control me, and I'm like, no, you can't control me. I'm my own person. Like, how you gonna tell me what to do? I mean, I get the fact, like, I'm not saying like I was just completely disobedient, but what I'm saying is she really tried to control what I did. Like, I remember going to school, I wanted to be a dancer, right? So, background on my schooling. Okay, I went to public schools just like everybody else, but my thing is I didn't like school because I felt like I was too smart for school, and I honestly was too smart for school. I barely went to school in high school, and I had better grades than most people that went to school every day. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, but I've always felt like I was too smart for school, so I didn't really like going to school. Of course, I went to school because I had to go to school. But one thing that I wanted to do to keep me into school was dance, right? I wanted to go to Duke Ellington for dance. And my mother, she did not want me to go to Duke Ellington for dance. All I needed was her permission so I can go to my audition. And she told me that I could not go to my audition, right? Even in high school, I wanted to be in a band. And she told me I couldn't be in a band because she felt like my grades wasn't up to her standards. But mind you, I was still passing. The only class that I could say that I was close to failing was biology. And honestly speaking, I had a crap teacher. Okay, she was a rambler, and she digressed from the topic at hand every single lesson. So I was always confused. Okay, but you know, I tried to do little things to keep me in school, and she went against the grain. Okay? And yeah, when it came out to me hanging with my friends, when I tell you Shane let me hang with my friends, Shane let me hang with my friends. And the days that she did let me hang with my friends, I had a fucking 7 o'clock curfew, and if I made it in the house 6:45, she still would have an attitude, okay? When I say my mother tried to control me, she tried to control me, okay? And these may seem like simple things to y'all, but if you've been in the situation that I'm talking about, then you understand what I'm saying by trying to control. Like, I'm 16 years old with a 7 o'clock curfew, coming home 15 minutes before my curfew, and I still get in trouble. So guess what? I might as well come in late anyways. If I'm going to get in trouble, for coming early, might as well do what I'm going to do anyways, right? Another thing that my mother did to show that she was jealous was she really altered my relationships with people, right? And the crazy part is I never realized all of this until my children's father, when me and him first got acquainted or whatever, like around the time that we first met or whatever, right? I got to know him or whatever. And I used to talk to him about all my family issues, right? And he'll be like, yeah, your mother sounds like she's jealous of you. And I'd be like, nah, not my mother. My mother can't be jealous of me. Nah. My mother gave birth to me. My mother can't be jealous of me. And the crazy part is that turns out to be true. Okay? I should have started off with this, but instead of me redoing a video, I'm just going to bring it up here because she was talking in the video and that was so cute and I don't want to edit it out the video. But anyways, yeah, it really comes to shock you when you find out that your parents is jealous of you. And it's like, how can they be jealous of me when they birthed me, you know, when they created me, when they raised me? I'm not even going to say birth because some of us have adopted parents, but when they, you know, when they raised me, how can they be jealous? Like, I am the person that they raised in a sense, you know, until you come into your own personality. So how is it that they're jealous? But trust me, it's possible. And people have told me this on numerous occasions. After he brought it up the first time, people have told me this on numerous occasions, and I'm still oblivious to the fact that my mother is envious of me. Like, y'all, I even read in a tarot reading twice that my mother was envious of me, okay? Twice. Not only did I hear it from other people, but I've heard it from spirit, okay? Like, I ain't gonna get too much into it, but yes, parents can be jealous of their children. And it does not mean that they do not love their children. Our parents definitely love us, but what they don't love about us is the fact that we are our own people and they can't control us, okay? But anyways, yeah, my mother used to alter relationships with my family members. Like, me and my mother, we used to get into it all the fucking time. When I say all the time, I really mean all the time, right? And my mother would put me out literally every other day type shit. And she'll tell me she'll tell me and my sister she want, you know, to keep our business private, right? But she'll be the one running to my aunt telling her stuff. She'll run to my grandmother telling her stuff, you know, stuff like this. So when I try to go to these family members for help, especially when it's got time for me to get kicked out, when I came to these family members for help, they always took my mother's side. And it's like, that's fucked up, because she just put me out at the age of 15, 16, and y'all rather see me out on the streets because y'all want to listen to her side of the story. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. Y'all know she put me out. Y'all should be taking me in. She really altered relationships with family members. And then also too, because of that, I don't tell my mother what goes on in my relationships because she will alter that shit too. Like, you know, I was living with my mother while in a relationship with my children's father because he was trying to get himself together, and you know, I'm the one at home taking care of the kids. So my mother used to get in my ear, oh yeah, he's doing this, he's doing that, he don't do this, he don't do that. Okay, but this not your relationship though. Why are you trying to alter my mind to think something else about somebody that I know? Like, my mother does not know. Like, she knows the father of my children, but she don't know the father of my children. Like, she's met him, she's been around him, she's had surface level conversations with him, but she don't know him. So it's like, you can't say that he's this, you can't say that he's that, you can't say, you could say he don't do this, you could say he don't do that, but in all reality, that should be false too, because just because I don't share what he do with you doesn't mean that he doesn't do, okay? That's the business between me and him. That has nothing to do with you, okay? So far, jealous parents, they try to control you and they'll alter the relationships that you have with other people. Another thing that jealous parents do is put your business out there. Again, like I said, my mother always talks about, oh, I like to keep things private. I don't like everybody in my business. But when it comes to me doing something, or when it came to my sisters doing something, girl, my aunt's name, we just going to say my aunt's name is Emma. Girl, Emma, tell me why Nene did this and Nick did this and Erica did this. And it's like, damn, you don't want us putting your business out there, but you putting our business out there. Like, I remember one time when I was failing biology. Technically, I didn't fail. I actually passed, but it was barely passing. But I was failing biology, and she was telling everybody how I was failing biology. And I'm like, you're telling everybody that I'm failing biology, but you didn't tell everybody how I was honorable mention last semester. You're telling everybody all this bad stuff about me, but you're not telling people all the good stuff about me. Like, the shit is crazy, y'all, how you realize later on in life how jealous your parents are. And it's like, the more I talk about it, the more I realize how jealous this lady was of me. And I'm not bashing my mother at all, because as an empath and as her daughter, I understand where she came from. And then also as my individual person, I understand, I understand why she did it for my benefit. I mean, in a sense, when you think about it, it's like, how did she do that to benefit you? It's just something that is for my path, okay? But yeah, stay right there. But yeah, another thing that my mother used to do was, when me and my sister used to fight, I lied to you, now 9 times out of 10, my sister will start fights between me and her. The sister that's close to my age, she will start majority of the fights between me and her. And every time me and my sister fought, she always took my sister's side. The one and only time she took my side was when me and my sister got into a fight. My ears ringing, so I'm speaking real shit. The one and only time she took my side was when I had to do a fashion show I don't remember if it was the next day or if it was a few days later. But that night that me and my sister got into a fight, she had put a knot on my forehead. So of course, she messed up my face, and I had a fashion show. So it's like, why would you mess up her face knowing she got a fashion show and da-da-da? That's the only time my mother took my side. Ear ringing. That's the only time my mother took my side, when it came to me and my sister fighting. And me and my sister fought for many years, y'all. Like, me and my sister only 2 years apart. She's 24 and I'm 26. And you can imagine how many years we were fighting, okay? And it was something else that I wanted to touch bases on that I can't remember right now. I should have wrote it down. But yeah, those are just some signs to show that your parents are jealous of you. And like I said, what I wanted to touch on was, it all starts from resentment, okay? That moment when the relationship, I'm laughing because it's so true. That moment when the relationship don't work out between your mother and your father, they take all that animosity and put that shit on you. That's why it's so important that you heal yourself before you have children, or in the early phases of their childhood. And I'm speaking from experience, okay? I mean, I haven't had to deal with, I did have to deal with children's father issues when I had my oldest. But I didn't let that affect my situation with my oldest daughter. I was really working on healing from that. But anyways, they really harbor all this resentment, and then it's even resentment from their past too, of why they are jealous of you. Like, I know, for example, in my family, my mother, there's a lot of family issues, right? I know my people's going to get mad because I'm airing the business out, but hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I am the one that's breaking these generational cycles, and keeping it private is definitely not going to break it, okay? So it is what it is. But my mother, she had abandonment issues from her mother. Her mother abandoned her around the age like 17, between 16 and 18, right? And she's had that resentment this whole time. My mother isn't even the oldest sibling. She was the youngest out of her and her sister, and it was only 2 of them. But you know, she felt abandoned by her mother, and she had daddy issues too, and a lot of that stuff she took out on me. You know, like all this stuff is just a lot of built up resentment that they have in their life, and then they spend all our life dumping that shit on us, right? Dumping it on us, especially early childhood. They dump this shit on us, they dump it on us, they dump it on us, and we're just taking it all in, taking it all in, taking it all in. You know, forgiving our parents because that's our parents. We want to love them unconditionally because that's mommy and that's daddy, and mommy and daddy can't do no wrong. And then when you get of age, when you're able to really speak up for yourself and you're really able to stand up for yourself, they don't like that shit because you're no longer the dumpster, and that's why they're jealous of you. And that's, like I said, how you really know you are meant for success, when your parent or your guardian is jealous of you and they do things to try to hold you back. And granted, a lot of times they don't even know that they're jealous. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, they're doing it out of a place of hurt. They're doing it from a subconscious standpoint. They're not doing it from a conscious standpoint. They're not saying, oh, I'm going to tell Coco she can't go to school for dance because I don't want her to be a dance. They're coming from the point like, no, I don't feel like dancing is for you. I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be a lawyer. I want you to be a dentist. I want you to have this type of success. I want you to have that type of success. Like, you see what I mean? It's not something that they do off the top of their dome because they're thinking about it. They do it off the top of their dome because they're not thinking about it. They want what they want for you. And when you don't fulfill their wants, they get mad, they get controlling. When they can't control you, they get jealous. Okay? And sad to say, these are facts. And I'm speaking everything from my personal experience. I mean, y'all have other personal experience of how y'all know that y'all parents or guardians are jealous of y'all. And if y'all want to share y'all personal experience, feel free to comment down below because I would love to hear other experience. And now that we discussed all of that, I wouldn't even recommend a way to deal with that because at the end of the day, it ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. Snip, snip, oh, snips. Like, I don't mean no disrespect. I ain't trying to call my mom a bitch, but I was just singing a song. I mean, I still love my mother, but I keep her at a distance because at the end of the day, there was so much that I had to do internally because she fucked me up from a young age, okay? So I spent a pretty good time trying to unravel these things and, you know, stuff like that. And I don't want to go back down that path, so I keep her at a distance. That's the only way I could tell you to deal. The only way I could tell you to deal with a jealous parent is to keep them at the distance. Like I'm telling y'all, like me personally, I don't really care if I talk to my mother or not. It's not going to make me or break me. But I do want a family connection. I want my children to be connected to their grandmother. I want them to know who their grandmother is, you know. That's the reason why I really stay connected to her. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, you fucked me up. Like, what am I going to be connected to you for? I mean, if I wanted to, yes, I can wholeheartedly not have her involved with my children's life in my children's lives. But I mean, hey, they love her, so I'm not going to let my personal experience, you know, mess up the experience of my children. And you know, toxic parents always tend to treat the grandchildren better than they treat their own children. So I mean, if she's treating my children well, I cannot complain. Okay? But yeah, what the main way I would say to really deal with that is to really change ways about yourself for you, not for your parents, but change the hurt that they put on you. I mean, when I say change ways, I'm not saying change who you are. I'm just saying change the hurt that they put on you. I would say heal, but to me, healing is just a band-aid, because when you heal a scar, right, and you scratch it, it's gonna bleed again. That's pretty much what healing is, right? But it's a bigger word to use for healing that I don't know, and I can't think about it right now. But that's pretty much what I'm getting to. It's not healing, it's more than healing. But you work on those aspects of yourself, and you work on changing those aspects of yourself, so that way you won't portray that onto your children. And for those who don't have children, it's just so that way you won't be living in that place mentally anymore. Okay, what you're doing, you're doing for you. When you're grown, you don't have to have no ties to your parents unless you choose to. But I'm not going to say, oh, be grown and talk to your parents this often, be grown and do this when your parents do that, because I mean, at the end of the day, we all have to deal with our parents in different ways, and I can't tell you how to deal with your parents because I don't know how your parent is. Okay, if I knew you and I talked to you, then I could tell you how to deal with your parents, but because I don't know you, I can't tell you how to deal with your parents. Okay. So I'm just saying, just work on yourself to alleviate a lot of these issues, and don't be that parent to your children. And it's easier said than done, and honestly saying, it is quite easy. It's just a longer journey, but it is quite easy, because honestly speaking, for me, a lot of stuff that my mother did to me, I don't do to my children. Like, I give them freedom of speech. Like, I literally have 3 rules in my house. Don't scream. I don't care if you run, just don't scream, don't mess with my stuff, and clean up after yourself. And what I mean by clean up, I got toddlers. I mean, just put your bowl in the sink and pick up your toys. Like, other than that, I practice conscious parenting personally, so I don't really have to do too much with my children. And then my children are easygoing, but that's because I don't have them on a leash. I don't control them. I let them freely express their emotions. I let them freely express who they are, because one thing I teach my children is self-love. And with self-love, I teach be true to who you are, because we seek our parents' validation. I don't want my children to seek my validation. I don't want my children to seek their father's validation, because at the end of the day, no matter how old they get, they're always going to seek validation from their parents. So I teach self-love and self-validation. But don't get me wrong, I also teach to honor your parents, while you're young. While you're a child and you're living under your parents, I definitely teach my children, like, look, Momo, look, Dede, I am the mommy and you are the child. You still have to listen to certain things that I do. And I tell you certain things because I'm teaching you lessons. I'm not trying to do this. I really communicate everything with my children. And that's one thing, a jealous parent definitely don't do. They definitely don't communicate. It's either my way or the highway. And I'm not that parent. I'm down with the compromising, okay? Because I understand you just don't want to do certain things, okay? And I can compromise with you. Like, yeah, you really change that pattern by working on yourself. And like I said, it's easier to do it when you don't have kids. But if you are in the position where you have kids, it's best to do it while they're young. And even if they're older, you're never too late to work on yourself, okay? You're working on yourself for yourself at the end of the day, but it's just easier to work on yourself in the earlier phases of childhood because it's less of an imprint on them. But at the end of the day, you working on yourself is what really matters. You're working on yourself for yourself, not for your parents, okay? I know that was a long rant, but I just had to put that out there. We do have jealous parents, and we are so oblivious to jealous parents. And that shit is crazy. Like, I lied to y'all not. I had got a tarot reading from somebody, right? And she was saying, yeah, there's somebody around you that's envious, they're deceitful, and they're pretending to be your friend when they're truly not. And I'm over here thinking it's really a friend, right? But no, it's my mother. And like I said, the reason why I found out is through a tarot reading. I did my own personal tarot reading, and it revealed to me exactly who was jealous, what they were jealous of, and the situation where it stemmed from, okay? I'm not going to get into that aspect right now, but a situation of where it stemmed from, right? And I asked my aunt to interpret the tarot reading as well. And she pretty much said the same thing that I said in different words. And then she added more to the story because there were things in the story that I didn't see that she saw and she brought to my attention. So I'm like, that is very interesting, right? And then the other day, like I'm always minding my business or whatever, and I still find out that she's envious of me, right? Because the Seven of Swords, for those who know tarot, Seven of Swords talk about envy, and this how I know it's her. Because the Seven of Swords and the King or Queen of Wands always pop up. She's a fire sign. So anytime those cards pop up, I know it has to do with her. Okay. And I feel the energy of the cards. But it reveals to me what is it that she's envious of and why she's envious of what she's envious of. Okay. So it just comes to prove that your parents really be jealous of you. And the sad part is we really be oblivious to it. And I just hope that I am better for my children, because I mean, I'm not a jealous person, so I don't see myself being jealous of my children. But then again, I don't know, because I mean, I don't know if my mother was a jealous person growing up, but I know I'm not jealous, so I don't know. But anyways, that's enough for this rant. Like I said, comment your experience with jealous parents, okay? Because I really want to know. Like, this is really an interesting topic. And I know that my mother, she did a lot of fucked up shit, okay? And I'm not going to really get into it. I might one day if the spirits, if my ancestors tell me to get into it, but right now I'm not going to get into it. But I know parents be doing some, people's guardians be doing some fucked up shit. Like, I be talking to people and they tell me what their guardians do, and it be fucked up. And I be like, damn, I thought my mother was bad. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go and enjoy your day. Thank you for watching. I hope this make you feel better to know that y'all not the only ones going through this, because we go through it. A lot of successful people go through it, okay? A lot of successful people go through it. Imagine, like, all the billionaires, not all the billionaires, but you know, a lot of the famous people, they always say it gets lonely when you get to the top. Okay? You're lucky if your parents walk to the top with you. Like, I know me personally, my mom not walking to the top with me. I be trying to bring her, but she be trying to stay in the 3D world, you know. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.